Hi guys and gals, welcome back to yet another meaty video. Today we're going to take a look at Starfield in a rather different light. As I'm sure you all know by now that Starfield's deep dive gameplay has been released on YouTube, and I gotta say it's looking very promising. The gameplay is honestly very crisp and detailed. So before I give you some of my nasty hot takes, please, I encourage you to go watch that video first. So pause this video and come back. You back? Okay, here we go. So first off, Bethesda and their development studios have been hard at work for this game. As you saw, it's very tech heavy. However, in this video, I'm going to be questioning the integrity of the team behind this game and how it may not be how they show it in the trailers. More specifically, I'm going to go over what they haven't shown us. For instance, they've said in a pretty old interview that there were going to be loading screens when transitioning from the planets to outer space. Now this, I'm not very worried about. I honestly don't care about seamless transitions even though it would add 200% more immersion. So that's not really an issue for me. However, what they also didn't show you is how you get in and out of your ship.
I actually rewatched some gameplay and it actually does look like they have a hatch for your ship, but still they don't really show you how you get into your ship, so just whatever.
Do you just press a button to teleport in there? Or do you open a hatch and climb or walk into your ship? These are the questions we should all be asking. In my opinion, I would at least like to have a seamless transition to the interior of my ship. This doesn't seem too hard to pull off, but then again, they didn't show it. I think this happens a lot with other titles as well, and one that you absolutely cannot forget is No Man's Sky. Sean Murray was promising us the features that we were seeing at the events showing this game off. Do we get those features at launch? No. We were straight up lied to. Do we have them now? Well, sort of. It's more like a yes and no. Yes, the planets are better, the content is more vast, multiplayer has been a thing for a little bit, but I just can't forget how let down I was when I purchased a full price space game and only got a sandbox game. There wasn't even really a story starting out in No Man's Sky. It was just repair your ship, then take off into space. The only challenge that has since been eliminated because of the duplication glitches was farming or grinding for the currencies in the game. But enough of No Man's Sky. Let's talk about the cities and crowds they promised in Starfield. So, as I'm sure all of you gamers know, seeing a crowded city is probably the coolest thing you can see in a fantasy game. Because believe it or not, people want to have that type of immersion in games nowadays. It sort of hypes you up to see that you aren't the only one that inhabits this new area, albeit the people are just AI. The crew at Bethesda have promised new tech in crowded cities in their new trailer for the game. The only thing about this is it goes back to the loading screens. I highly doubt that there are going to be no loading screens while having a fully crowded city. I just don't think we're there yet in terms of technology since they're promising huge cities. And if you don't remember, look how Cyberpunk turned out. And I know it really wasn't their game, but look, this does not mean that they can't achieve this. They must have figured out a trick to make you think that these cities are full without them actually being full. For example, in the past, in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is one of my fave games by the way, they build the rooms and dungeons in different areas so when you go through a door or portal, it'll unload the previous area you were in and load the new one. But it still feels like you're in a huge world even though that game was made for the Nintendo 64. Like holy shit. You guys and gals at Bethesda need to fulfill your promises now. I can excuse the loading screens, but other than the story, what else is there to do? Build a base? How does that work? And if there are loading screens, how can we land anywhere on a planet? What if I decide to land far away from a city and then walk there? Will the city still be there? Or will I have to load into it to get there? I'm already kind of seeing the immersion break in that assumption. But nevertheless, you've sold me. Even if it is a scam or some sort of tomfoolery, you make the game look so good in the trailers. I just wish it actually is good. And how do you dock another ship? Is there a prompt? And then you loading screen into the other ship? The biggest thing here is that they don't show you the transitions from place to place, and that's what I'm trying to put to the light in this video. Instead, they cut to like an action shooter scene or mining something in the trailer. And if I've missed something, then link it here so I can check it out. But we need to be pressing them in this area. Even if they are working on the transitions as we speak, they can at least know that the fan base is smart and on top of them for that top level immersion. Here's the thing, guys. I know I've been complaining about loading screens and transitions from one area to another, but I think it's a valid fact to point out. In their previous titles such as The Elder Scrolls, the immersion is top notch. especially in Skyrim. I just hope they bring the same energy here. And one more thing, make sure it actually works for PC and Xbox. We don't want another 200 gigabyte game to run worse than 10 generations ago when we had to blow into our cartridges to improve gameplay. And yes, that did work, okay? It totally didn't make it worse at all. But seriously, what do you guys think? What do you want to see in Starfield that you didn't see in the trailers? Let me know down below in the comment section down below. Did I just say down below twice? And as always, have a good one. That was trash. Oh my god.
Forever. This is where we belong.